Hello, hello, YouTube, and good evening to everyone. Or rather, good morning, I don't know. Evening, morning, same thing. Been away for a little while. Pretty busy with work. It has been one hell of a summer. In September now. Whew, lot has happened. It has literally been a busy month. So today, or rather tonight, I've decided to do another video because you know what? I haven't done one for a while, and the last time I did a YouTube video, I said I was going to make some plans for doing them again, so this is basically it. It's not exactly a reintroduction, it's just continuing where I left off, I suppose. So, tonight, the video I'm going to be doing is one that I mentioned the last time. So, I'm going to be doing films and shows of interest. And the reason why I've named it this video is because, well, quite frankly, let's put it simply. We all have our own love of shows. Literally, like, everyone has their own. They have, let's say, Rick and Morty. I don't know why, but then again, there could be Game of Thrones, Doctor Who. That's clearly mine. Speaking of which, the latest trailer that dropped the other day. Hurry up, November. I will be doing a video on that. No doubt. But no, there's also other shows and films that people really love, and yet I haven't seen them. So that's why I'm doing this video, because obviously, everyone knows me from all the stuff I love, but there is more shows that I also want to get into. Not just because they're into it, but because also, I see all this stuff on YouTube. There are some really good stuff. And yeah, so that's what this video is all about tonight. It's about films and TV shows that I'm interested in, or they could even be big series, because, there are so many of them. And I even have, hold on, I have a list on here. It's not very clear. It's also written down in my phone, but obviously I can't show the link because I haven't got access to do a live on YouTube. So, you know what? I just wrote them all down, and I'll possibly put some explanations in there. Maybe not for all of them. Actually, no, yeah, I will do that, because that's the whole point of this video. It's to explain why I do these things, and then also, it's pretty good. I'm just going to put my phone on charge as well, quickly, because I don't want to lose battery while I am doing this live. Otherwise, then that is a big screw up. Right, so the first one I've put, and I've actually put all of this in particular order that I have written down, because, well, it's all going to be there anyway. So the first one I've chosen is Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Now, popular TV show, it's absolutely hilarious. Now, I've only watched a couple of episodes. Now, you see, the reason for that is because, I've tried it. It's really good. But then, well, to be honest, it's finding the time. It is literally trying to find the time to do everything. I mean, hell, from the end of May to middle of August, I was doing a full-on Doctor Who marathon. I literally didn't watch anything else apart from the Secret Invasion series that was on Disney Plus from Marvel. That was literally the only thing I watched. And High School Musical, the musical, the series, which I might actually do a video on because it's pretty good. But anyway, Brooklyn Nine-Nine. So, yeah, I remember watching a video of it that was the video with I Want It That Way. So it was those prisoner suspects who did the song, and that was pretty good. So I thought, you know what, I want to give this a try. So technically, I have watched it, but not the whole thing. I want to watch the whole thing. So that is my goal, one day, to be able to watch the whole thing. Want to buy it on DVD, but maybe wait until it goes down a little bit. But honestly, it's an amazing series from what I've heard, and everyone loves it. So yeah, I really want to get into it. And the next one I have on my list is Daredevil Series 3. So I've watched seasons 1 and 2, but I have not yet been able to watch season 3. Now, I don't know why. I don't know why I've delayed it. I mean, in all fairness, there are a lot of episodes in just one season, and they are all about an hour long. Now, I know that's a ridiculous... It probably seems like a ridiculous excuse, because you know what? There's a lot of stuff that's about an hour long for episodes, or even maybe like a whole load of episodes in one. But I think for me is that I actually need to take just a couple of days off, so I could actually really process it. And I have been meaning to watch it. But also because Daredevil Born Again, that's meant to come out next year sometime... Well, actually, I think sometime near around this time next year, or maybe even November, December time, so I'm not entirely sure. So I want to watch season 3 so I can catch up, which is basically a good way of putting it, so I can catch up with it. I mean, I don't know how different it'll be to the 4th season. I think they're pretty much keeping it the way it is, but then again, I don't know. But then again, that's Marvel. They could always change things around. The next one I've got, and this is one I haven't watched fully. Once again, just another clip from like years ago, but still hilarious. Blackadder. Now, yeah, some people are probably going to think you haven't watched Blackadder. Why not? It's hilarious. You know what? I agree. It is hilarious. The scene I watched was, it was with those two actors who were doing Macbeth. But obviously, if you say Macbeth in the theatre, it gives them really bad luck. It's like exorcising evil spirits, like proper suspicious and stuff. So I watched that. In fact, I think I watched it back in 2015, I think it was. I was in English. And yeah, we put that video on and it was really funny. And I also recognised Kenneth Connors as well from it, because he was in Heidi High, so I recognised him. Rowan Atkinson, well, you can't miss him. Hugh Laurie. Yeah, Hugh Laurie. I had to think that. I know he was a Hugh, but I couldn't think of... luckily I remembered. But yeah, I really loved that scene. It's hilarious, but I haven't yet been able to watch it. It is out on DVD, so again, it is a part of the watch list. And you know what? I've heard some really good stuff. So, yeah. The next one, Wednesday, which was the Netflix series with Jenna Ortega as Wednesday Addams. So, again, couple of episodes, not watched the whole thing yet, but well, actually, I remember when it came out, it was a proper big thing on Netflix. It literally took over the whole thing. But not only that, though, for me, it's because of Tim Burton. Like, he made it. And you know what? I've got a huge appreciation for Tim Burton. He's brilliant. He really is a fantastic director. And not only that, but a group of mine in college, we did a little Tim Burton show a couple of years back, and it's like, yeah, it was just like a lovely thing that we all did. But Tim Burton as a director is just incredible, and the fact that he did Wednesday for Netflix, it was amazing. So I'd love to watch that, because obviously I appreciate Tim Burton and I love his work, and yeah, the series it looked incredible, but I just haven't had a chance to watch it. And again, I've watched clips of it and it looks really impressive. And also, everyone was going pretty mad when that song was what was it, Bloody Mary by Lady Gaga, becoming a remix and then using it for the prom number or whatever it was. The next one I've got, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Now, that's another Marvel project. Now, reason for this one, reason for this one is because I haven't watched it yet. My reasoning is because I'm thinking I'm a little bit too late. Now, I know that sounds daft, but Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. came out in what, 2012 or 2013. I can't remember which year because I haven't done my research on it. But, you know, I feel like I've been way too late for it. Like, I've heard it's really good. But then again, I'm remembering I only got into Marvel like 2 years ago. So, yeah, and, you know, I'm not sure how many seasons of it there's been, but Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. has been around for years, and that's where my thinking is, am I too late for it now? Is there so much to catch up on? Because there is. Like, there's so much that's happened in it, and I feel like I'm out of touch with it. Like, I don't know what goes on. I watched about maybe 15 minutes of the first episode, and you know what? I was impressed by what I saw. I mean, I saw Agent Coulson, and I'm just thinking, wait a minute, that's not possible. He's dead because of what happened in the Avengers. So, yeah, I'm proper confused by all that. I was confused. So, yeah, I feel like I've got a lot to catch up on with it. I might watch it. I'm not entirely sure. Maybe when I've got more time on my hand. I'm not entirely sure. But you know what? Excuse me. I've heard good stuff about it. So, it's a possibility, yeah. Possibility. Never say never. Now, another one that I've got is a comedy series. Now, I love my comedies. I really do, especially on the BBC, and it's called My Family. Now, I have started to watch that. I'm on like maybe the 4th or the 5th episode, probably a little further, but I haven't been able to watch it fully because there's like 11 series of it, and I'm just like, oh god, this is gonna take a while, but it's hilarious. Now, the reason how I came across that was because of TikTok. That is the thing. TikTok is everywhere. You see pretty much every single thing on there. You can't miss it. You literally can't. Hell, you could even see a spoiler from flipping Star Wars and it would still go on there before you've even watched it. I mean, come on. But no, My Family is incredibly hilarious. I am literally laughing my soul out because it is brilliant. It's just brilliant. There's a lot of it, and yeah, you know what? I'm actually looking forward to completing it. Probably gonna get it on DVD so I can watch it properly. But you know what? I'm happy with how I am watching it on BBC iPlayer, so it's working for me. Another one I've got. Now, this is probably a big one and also probably a strange one for a guy to say. Barbie. The movie. Reason for that, saw the trailer. It looked pretty good. There's a lot of familiar faces in there. You've got Margot Robbie, Ryan Gosling, Ncuti Gatwa, the new Doctor, hey, Emma Mackay, if that is her name. You got he's that guy from Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. I think his name is Sumo Lee. I can't think of his name, but I don't want to try and get it right or even more wrong, if that makes sense. But no, you know what? It probably is a good movie. I am wanting to see it in the cinema. I'm not sure if it's still there, but I haven't had time at all. So I might just have to wait until that one comes out on DVD. That's usually the way it works, or even just watch it on YouTube itself. You know, just probably do it that way. The next one I've got, Kingsman films. So the ones with Taron Egerton and Colin Firth. Now, the second and the first one, I have seen bits of it. So I haven't exactly watched the films, but, you know, I've watched them in the sense where there's a certain part of it and I'm just like, oh yeah, I like that part. I'm going to rewatch it, but it hasn't actually came to it where I've watched the full thing. In fact, I haven't even seen the third one. So yeah, I haven't seen those ones. I don't think any of the original cast members returned for it. But then again, you know what? The Kingsman films, they do look pretty good. They seem like my kind of film. It's like all the action in there, there's a bit of comedy. So, you know what? I can live with that. Because, you know me, I love my comedy films. You give me anything, you put me in front of something, it fits comedic, and boom, right there. So yeah, that is the list that I'm quite interested in. But I've also put a couple of stuff in that is maybe a possibility. So, reason for possibilities is because they look intriguing, but they might not be my thing. I mean, actually, let's face it, there's a lot of things that may not even be my thing. A couple of years ago, I never would have seen myself even watching Marvel. But then again, here I am. I've watched a couple of DC projects, and I most recently, a couple of weeks ago, went to go see Blue Beetle, and that was actually really, really good. I was proper surprised by it. I really enjoyed it, and that's a DC film. I mean, I saw Black Adam months back, but that wasn't as great. I mean, no offense to Dwayne Johnson or anything. But actually, before I go into the possible films, I also want to go into the stuff that I had on the list and that I've managed to watch. So, The Little Mermaid was one of them, which was the newer version, the live action one featuring what was her name? I can't remember. But no, I really, really enjoyed the Little Mermaid live action film. I haven't seen the Disney version, the animation. I haven't seen those, probably because, well, probably because I didn't grow up with it. I grew up with Disney, but there were only certain films that I watched when I was younger with Disney, so that wasn't one of them. But I am willing to widen my circle because throughout the last couple of years, I have tried to change my taste in film and stuff and TV because I want to try and get out there a little bit more. Not just stick to the same stuff that I like, because it's good to have your own. It's good to have your own thing, but then again, you're just thinking to yourself, you want to stretch out more. There's a lot more to see. So I even did that. So literally before The Little Mermaid, I watched Moana, and hell, that was so much better than what I thought it would be. I actually gave that a bit of shtick because I didn't know what to expect. So yeah, that was good for me. It was brilliant. I can't fault it. So yeah, possible films and shows. Now the first one I've got on here is Fast and Furious movies. 10 movies, so you know what, they're like a couple of hours each. I saw the trailer for Fast and Furious X, because obviously I think that's for the 10. I saw that trailer, and I think it was either last year when I was in London, or it was in March, again, being in London, because at the Comic Con they showed certain trailers, like they had Cocaine Bear, which looked weird. They also had that Silent Night Santa Claus movie, but those two aren't the ones that are on my list. I mean, maybe Cocaine Bear, possibly, I don't know. But no, Fast and Furious films, now... You know what? A lot of people love them, but some people have told me, like my best friend, for instance, he's told me that it started to go downhill a little bit after the 7th or 8th film. I'm not entirely sure, but you know what? They have good casting, and yeah, even though like car films aren't exactly my cup of tea, nothing wrong with giving them a try, I suppose. You've got to be a little bit optimistic for these things. So, yeah, I'll possibly see about that one day. Like I say, it's only a possibility, so I'm not entirely sure. We'll see what happens. I've also got the the Flash series with Grant Gustin, but also I've got the film on there too. So that's what I've got. Now the Flash series, well, I know particularly about the Flash because I've got the Supergirl series with Melissa Benoist, and obviously the Flash, he comes into it a couple of times. Like, he just pops up a few times in Supergirl. So obviously there's crossing in with whole multiverses there, other Earths and whatnot. So you know what? I have actually been really intrigued to maybe seeing the Flash. I wanted to wait until all 9 seasons were out, and they are now. But Christ, they cost a bomb. It cost like 60 quid for that whole thing. But you know what? It looks really interesting, and yeah, it's a big possibility of what I want to see. I mean, it doesn't mean I'm going to start going into all the other DC stuff, you know. I mean, possibly, but the Flash film as well, that one looks pretty decent because it's got Ezra Miller, who I recognised from Fantastic Beasts specifically, and Michael Keaton. And you know what? He's a fantastic actor. I love Michael Keaton's work. You know, I remember him specifically from that film Jack Frost, and also he played Vulture in Spider-Man movies. So you know what? I might give it a try. I mean, he's more better known for Batman. So yeah, we'll just have to see about that one. Second one is, I mean, the next one I've got as well is actually Superman and Lois. So, well, it's actually the same Superman actor who is in Supergirl, and you know what? He's really good in it. So yeah, I'm proper intrigued by that as well. But then again, it's just a possibility, you know, because I don't know what else I'm gonna watch. I mean, hell, I've got so much to watch at this point. I am literally just catching up with old films and stuff, so that's why I'm getting into all of this before the 60th anniversary of Doctor Who. I know, surprise, surprise. But that is literally all I've done. I've just caught up with old films and stuff. I think the other day I caught myself watching, well, I just put Spider-Man Far From Home on. I mean, I love the film, obviously, so I was clearly going to watch it. And speaking of Spider-Man as well, I'm also wanting to put my ring into the Spider-Verse films. I tried watching the first one, and I was a little bit on the fence about it. But, you know what? Everyone raves about how good they are. So, you know what? I'm even going to try those. But a bigger one that I really want to try to get into, but it just feels way too long, is actually Family Guy. Because, you know, it's a brilliant show. It's full of brilliant comedy. So, yeah, it's how long it is. That's the problem. These things can feel like a hell of a stretch, and then you're feeling like, no. But then again, you've just got to give this a try. So, with that in mind, I am going to leave this video for the night. And, yeah, if there are any shows that people may think I might find interesting, please leave it in the comments. Because, honestly, I appreciate all that. You know what? I could even be watching the shows and putting in a mention to them about how brilliant they've been. So, yeah, just keep that in mind. So, thank you for watching the video. Thank you for continued support. And I will see you all in the next one. Haven't got an idea just yet, but I will be thinking. Okay? Until the next time, see you later.